can see here. You know, we normally transfer 50 from the general fund, and that other 500 is coming from SPLOST. So that's just big picture contingency, just to give you a rough idea of where we are. So big picture, we'll be roughly around 5 million to start the year, and we should be over 5 million to end FY27 if all goes to plan. Diving into here's the variance from the amended budget to now. As you can see, not a lot of revenue change. This 383 right here is our increase in QBE minus the stipend money that we got. I had to take that out from FY26. Other than that, the transfers changed obviously of capital projects. See our debt service, we had the big payoff in debt, so it's less. Took the land out, and then other changes we'll go through. So $1 million change from the FY26 amended to the FY27 tentative. If we dive in, QBE adjusted here. So this is the change in fund balance. Then I'll have some notes on the side. So our QBE went up almost $800,000. Our QBE initial for FY27, half of that is equalization. It went from like 805,000 to a little over 1.2. So there was a hold up. We just got this sheet Friday. I think one district was really fighting their equalization, but ours increased, so we haven't said anything. So that was a nice adjustment, and I think most of that is how we code our students. I think we're doing a good job at evaluating our kids and seeing if they meet any special needs requirements, and we are allocating that, and it's obviously showing off. Second part, remember, this is a change from FY26 to 27, so I had to remove our big purchases, so that is an increase back to the fund balance of the land and the sign. Debt service, same thing. I took off the early payoff we did. You can see that amount doesn't match the 1.79. That's because of the interest we saved. So that's the difference there. Remove the one-time supplement. Remember, this is the net. We got about $320,000 from the state, and we paid out right around $420,000. So this is a net back to us. Grant adjustments, there's a lot in here. This is, every grant we receive, I did a lot of cleaning up of some old ones that we're not expected to get back. Just some new adjustments, so there are a bunch of numbers in here, but this is all federal money. So then we go into, our changes from year to year. So our 1 year experience, obviously that's our teachers going from like year 20 to year 21. This is what it costs us. We had a lot of teachers in between. It changes every 2 years. There's like a 2-year gap. We have a lot of people stuck in that 2-year gap, so it only costs us, $43,000. Insurance, it's going up $50 per employee per month. That is certs and non-certs. That is all employees for the district. I think we have currently 170 something employees on insurance. This budget probably has 190 to 195 employees included on insurance, just for new hires. We don't know if they'll take benefits yet or not until like August. So we have accounted for that, and that is part of like our cushion. So insurance and TRS cost us about $140,000 right here. TRS went up 0.41% for the employer part. Transportation, and stop me anytime if you have any questions if I'm flying through this. Transportation, so we cut some things out of transportation. The big change is we budgeted for 2 buses in FY26. They are currently only asking for 1. I think it's the one big one, and it's handicap accessible. It's expensive. It's like $190,000, I think. We only get $88,000 from the state, so it would cost us $110,000 110 out of pocket, somewhere in there. School nutrition, only change there's no change in salaries, as of yet. The only change is the increasing food costs. I know y'all noticed that in the monthly reports, that food has went from, 30, 35K a month, upwards over 40, so that change makes sense. Technology budget is down, that's the positive number, that is money back to the general fund. The reason there is they have a big project this month, and next month, this summer mainly. They are replacing all of the switches for our hardware in all of our IT rooms. So switches are expensive. That's about what they were. They're about $75,000, $80,000 to replace. I know we're doing the middle high school, tech building, and the board office. I think the elementary school, they said, would be too much for this summer. And I don't know if we'll replace it or if we'll just wait for new school. I think we'll just kind of wait and see. It hadn't really been discussed yet. That's all for technology. Curriculum, we discussed, y'all approved $135,000 of curriculum. This change is decreasing some of the middle and high school curriculum, so there's another 50-ish or so coming out of middle and high that we're gonna pay for with grant money. So there's that difference from what you guys approved last month to this. Our school adjustment, so our principals get an amount based on QBE that they can use for supplies and stuff for their grades for their teachers, and our FTE is a small change each year, so no major monetary change there. Dr. Gummy's budget went up a lot. Part of that is the YAS web hosting that we mentioned, or that's in this agenda. Other part of that is some other software, some legal fees, the additions to Infinite Campus, some other softwares that you know of.
K-12 and Infinite Campus,
K-12
online
and
registration.
So there's a major change there. Maintenance, we went through a deep dive with Mr. Miller. His two pressing concerns so far are HVACs at the high school. He wants to replace, I think, 6 a year for the next 3 years. It's the smaller classroom ones. I think he said they're about 15 grand a piece, and he's having issues with them all the time. And that's at the high school. The other major issue is the roof at the elementary school. He just wants to put a sealant on it to help it survive the next 3, 4, 5 years, however long it takes to get in a new school. So that's the major increase to his budget. Employee replacements, I just went through and did a deep dive of each school and all the changes we have. We only had 5 or 6 teachers retire, but we had a lot of changes with parapros, school nurses, bus drivers, you name it. Every other position has changed a lot, so that is a lot of these. The elementary school is bigger due to us having to add a couple positions. I know we added a para for the one particular incident that we had, so it is a lot bigger. Our athletic adjustments went up a little bit. I think that is mainly due to adding some assistant coaches. I don't think any of the head coaching jobs, increased in value. Increased pay, but there were some new assistant jobs that are included, and I'll go through that. Pre-K was another deep dive. So for last year's budget, I did not have the 4th class in. So this shows the 4th class being added and the extra funding we received for it. And the last one was the SPLOS contingency that I showed, moving $500K out of SPLOS and into capital projects. So was very quick. Any questions on that, I'll be glad to answer, and then I'll go through a local supplements package. Here is our QBE sheet.
Moving that 500 from SPLOST to capital projects, that's not something we can do anything with though until November or something, is that right?
Correct.
Until the other SPLOST comes to a close, is that
It'd be
correct?
At least November, possibly February. I still lean towards November, but I know the state is saying February. But I don't think they've done a deep dive into our SPLOST to see that, we get most of our SPLOST in the summer. And I know we had a terrible weekend for this, holiday weekend and probably didn't receive the SPLOST we normally do. But basing off the past couple of years, we received most of our, increase in SPLOST in the summer. So I
Right.
think we're still gonna hit it in October.
Well, we can't use those funds until that starts, correct?
Right, but it would
Yeah.
be in this budget.
In the, that's right, in the 27 budget, yeah,
Correct.
okay.
And it's just a contingency, it's just to show what we could do.
Right.
Show you guys what we could do.
Okay.
Another thing to point out is, facilities M&O, we've talked about if we phase out the elementary school, what would we lose? The state's only paying us $300,000 for facility maintenance and operation, so you could roughly say half of that goes to elementary school, so it would be $150,000 we lost for a couple years to build. So in the grand scheme of things, that's not a lot of money to push you off not building, in my opinion. Another thing is, Dr. Gumby pointed out, we finally received a whole sped director. So I think in the past, we've always had, one full superintendent and 2 full assistants. Obviously, we only have 3 people for those 4 positions, but we only earn almost 2 assistant principals and we have 3, so we kind of make up for it there. Not much else on the QBE sheet. There were a couple of new things. Social worker, student mental health, and this economically disadvantaged student. So they added some new things in here to make up for it. But the biggest one was, we always talk about, is equalization.
Literacy coach funding is in there. We just don't know where they put it yet. They haven't told us. But the state is funding a full-time literacy coach in every K-3 school in the whole state of Georgia. So we're thinking they may have put it in the intervention part. We just don't know. But they guaranteed that it was in the budget.
No questions. We can move into our supplements package. So this is our total local, added supplements. Here's a summary of it, and prior year shows that there's not a lot of change. Some of that is just benefits, and the other mainly was grants for CTAE in the high school. Bus drivers got a supplement raise in FY26, and the athletics that we talked about. So we'll dive in. Like I said, none of these changed from last year. These are, agreed upon by the board. I think all 3 of these are. This was an increase last year, but not this year, and this was a change last year as well. High school principal supplements have not changed since I've been here. Neither have the assistant principal supplements. If there's any interest in changing any of these, you all can let me know later. But I don't think many of these have changed at all since I've started. Now these change annually, but they're based on state grants, so we either pay or double. Like extended year would double for both, and the others are state grants that we pay out. So they earn them and we pay them. Same here, no change. No changes at elementary school. This is another thing that's been a hot topic. I don't know when the last time this has changed, so this could be a way to, you know, get all teachers if you wanted to. I know this starting as a T4 at $2,300 is very low compared to our, surrounding areas. I mean, we can't completely compare ourselves to Columbia County, but theirs is like almost $7,000. I think their starting teacher makes over 50, whereas ours comes in at roughly 45. I don't know if this is an area of interest for y'all, but I can always throw out some scenarios. Athletics is very similar to last year. I did mention there are a couple, extra assistant positions, which I know are needed, like in baseball. So those are the main changes there. I'll just ease through this. Not a lot of swap up either. I think our football staff is pretty much intact, isn't it? Did it change at all?
I know.
I think a lot of our major coaching positions at the high school especially are the exact same as last year. I think this is a new position, an extra assistant for softball. We have 2 new for baseball. The trainer is added in as well. In the past, we have paid it, but it wasn't included as on the sheet. Now it is, so there's $4K out of the 16 change. I think last year we were around 192-ish, 191. And it's proposed at 207 this year.
So when you say trainer, is that like an athletic trainer?
Yes, athletic trainer.
And is it just for baseball?
No, it's primarily football, but I think it's every sport.
She's just football
Just
right
football? Oh, okay. And she's paid hourly, right? Contract.
now, per game. And then she comes in. Maybe if a athlete is injured, she may come in on Monday to help with the conditioning.
Why are these positions open? I mean, we don't have any other coaches we can.
There are some potential, but I think the potential hiree has not accepted yet, or this was actually a couple weeks ago though. I haven't talked to Parker since his procedure. Was it last week or 2 weeks ago?
About 2 weeks.
So that's part of it. It's just communication with Coach Martin since his procedure. But I think they have 2 people for it, but I just don't know if they have accepted yet.
That's a real problem. I get more calls about assistant coaches. We've been relying on the community coaches, and that's not working in everything.
I agree. I think he's got 2 teachers interested, but I don't know what the holdup is. I'll follow up with Coach Martin and get back to me. Bus driver pay we did increase. I think this was probably around 12 or 13 last year. On the route pay, you remember we did time and a half increase in the fall. Maintenance, so we have 2 kind of managers of each school, or 1 manager of each school. Remember the high school when it's open, we discussed last year why. It's just a pay issue. not from us, but, you know, personal matter. And that is really all I have. Are there any questions, anything you wanna go back through? All in all, it looks very well. As you can just see right here, our, you know, our estimated expenses were almost 20 million in the amended budget, and they are down in FY '27 to only 19.2, so we're down 700,000 or 800,000 expenses. We really dove in again and tried to eliminate any unnecessary stuff. And I mean, I think the goal moving forward is to use SPLOST for capital projects, correct? So,
And lower the millage rate.
well, I mean, according to this, we should be in really good shape, because this is the exact number from the amended budget, which is what we'll receive this year, and we should receive a little growth next year, so this is a very conservative estimate.
Right.
So I see no reason we shouldn't be able to roll back.
We want everybody to be happy.
That's all we do.
They're not gonna know if we roll it back, Chris.
Do what?
They won't know if we roll it back.
No, they won't.
All right, do we have any other questions about the FY '27 tentative budget?
Did either you want this in print format? If we need to discuss anything in the back,
I like it in print
Okay.
format, please.
print 5 copies for the board members.
Okay.
All right, if we don't have any other questions, I need a motion to approve the tentative '27 budget.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Mr. Hyden, second by Ms. Daniel, all in favor?
Who's second?
All right,
You second.
Miss Daniel second.
Daniels, okay.
She's quick, she beat me to it. She's quicker.
all right, next is set the date for the board meeting for the budget approval.
All right, this was sent to the newspaper. It was in last week's paper, so it did get in. And our next meeting is June 9th at 4:30, where we'll have this same meeting, this budget hearing at 4:30, and then final approval at 5 o'clock that same evening. So June 9th.
All right. The Yost purchase is next on the agenda.
All right, last month we had, was it Gavin? Mr. Gavin came and
Gavin
presented to
Burrow.
us and gave a presentation over the Gen Cloud, which is a web-based, web storage for our information. He talked about the security of it, gave you some examples of when other districts are down, using the cloud, we're still able to keep moving, keep going. That data is secure through Amazon or AWS. Again, we told them that if they could help us out in any way, instead of us paying all of the money at one time, and he did. So most of these vendors know we are a small district, and that we don't have the means to come up with sometimes all of what they're asking for. Mr. Noam, if you can bring me the mouse and just kind of want, and the keyboard. Prior to Yost, we used SoftDocs and eTrieve. So it was a platform that Leave was on a whole separate platform than our other system. So eTrieve was, help me out, Frontline ASOP, that was our Leave system, and then SoftDocs, our payroll and other software. Yost has everything in the one place. And I just kind of don't know why it's doing this. Of course, because I want to use it. May just need refreshing. But I kind of want to show you just a real quick overview of the platform. Real quick. This is the report I was trying to show you back in the executive session a couple of weeks ago that I couldn't get up. But just imagine having this data at our fingertips of how many people we just hired, what's the average age of employee, the employee count. Now remember, this includes substitutes, the average generation of our employees, so you can know how many are you looking to retire in the next couple of years. Ethnicity and race, all at your fingertips. So once we get all this information in correctly, then these are the reports that we can be able to produce in seconds. And this is what YAS does for us. Also want to show you the modules. This, our accounts payable, which is Ms. Vicky, our payroll, which is Ms. Sabrina, all of them still in one place. Again, everything is in one place. Our fundraiser request, all of our principals and teachers submitted through YAS. Field trips is submitted through YAS. We're totally online with recruiting and hiring new people, all within the same system. And as soon as someone leaves us, this separation notice can be automatically generated for us. We don't have to go to the Department of Labor to get that form. It's automatically created here. We sent out contracts a couple of weeks ago, and it tells us how many teachers still haven't signed it, or those ones who have signed it. But at the click of a button, we send it all out, and then they can sign it electronically, and then we can get contracts much faster than we've done in the past. Employees can check their e-stub, check their balances, all of their e-stubs for years. This is the leave platform that teachers, when they're out, they put a leave in. And here's field trips. An employee can go and look at all their total compensation, which is their supplements, their base pay, and any athletic coaching supplement or whatever. All of this right now is embedded in YAS. So it is a great tool, and we're looking forward to some of the other things it can do for Mr. Norman's office here with the journal entries and the bank reconciliations, and then being able to work remotely. And so it's a one-stop shop for us, and the whole thing, when I came here, is how can we be more efficient? And this platform makes it very efficient for us to get information out to the public, to you, in a moment's notice. Instead of having to go through file, get reports for you, this system can do it for us. And they're growing. They keep adding. And I think out of all the modules, I think we're using all but maybe 2 or 3. Like we're not using the sign in. I mean, you can actually have a teacher when they log in on the computer, that's how they sign in. But right now we're using the badge, so that's working for us. So we don't need that capability. In the future we may, but we have it in the platform if we ever need it. Timesheets, employees submit their timesheets for pay right here. So we're no longer pencil and paper that they write and send it to payroll. It goes straight into payroll after the principal signs a timesheet, comes to either a coordinator or department head, and then my signature, and then on to payroll. So we're learning. And thus far, it's a great system. We can customize reports. Let's say you want to know how many teachers at elementary school. I can do that in a split second once we get everything correct in there. And this month and next month, Ms. Hahn is going to be working on cleaning up everything in here. We're going to go through every employee to make sure everything, all fields are entered so that we can be able to get those reports to you. So that's why we're kind of seeking approval for this web, the Gen Cloud, so that we can just be even more efficient than we already are. Any questions on the purchase of it?
Do we have to add any additional computers to make people able to use it?
No,
I
sir.
mean, you're gonna use all existing, like,
Yes, sir.
you was talking about putting the time in, I don't know how.
If they would go to their computer at their desk,
Okay, so there is a computer for everybody?
Yes.
I mean, I think we got plenty, I don't know.
yes,
though.
sir. Yes, sir.
All right, any other questions about?
On this quote, I was just looking, it says 7,000 due now and 18,000 first year total 28.
So we want to use some of it this fiscal year and not spend the whole 25 in 1 year.
That's a calculation error.
Okay, I was looking at $3,000 difference, I didn't know.
That's a calculation error on their part.
Okay.
Their CEO has guaranteed that, if we pay the 7, they'll have us up and running before our remodeling starts up here, so that we can go online. So basically, we would log into YAS and then pull up our PC Genesis that is now hardwired. There are only 3 computers in the board office that can use it. Now, whichever employees we give PC Genesis to, which will still be limited, can use it anywhere they can get on a computer. And it would be secure through YAS to get in it. So this will help us with our remodel, but now they have guaranteed, if we pay the $7 now, they'll have us up and running, and we can use it, you know, until July 1st, basically, without the subscription, that we'll pay July 1st. So for, you know, FY '27, and then our second year would be FY '28. So we're basically getting, you know, a month for free, I guess, kind of, yeah, or with the implementation fee. But it is only 25 the first year. That's
Okay.
just a,
Okay.
that's just an error on their part.
All right, if we don't have any other questions, entertain a motion to approve it.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Mr. Heitman to approve the purchase, second by Mr. Madison. All in favor? I need a motion to go in executive session.
Second.
Me.
Madison.
Oh, yeah, Jim, second.
I make a
Motion by
to go
Madison,
into
go into
executive session.
executive session. Second by Mr. Heitman.